that you're actually working. Are you working? Is this fucking microphone even working? Now it is working actually. Well, now it is working. Strange. Strange indeed. Let us not think about this, because once you start thinking about it, it stops working again, I would assume. Technology. Extra much stupid and shy that word. So now you are finished loading, that is good. Then we can set you up, and then we can actually get into the playing part of all of this nonsense. I think I'm actually looking forward to quite a bit, because the music alone is going to satisfy me quite well, and I need some satisfaction, because this week is actually turning out to be a pain in the ass. Don't let anybody else know that I said that. Now, let's see if every window is actually finished loading. You're finished, that is nice. You have finished too? Okay then. I guess it's as good as any time to get in. Just let me switch to the other window, because that's just how I like to do it. My nose is itchy, for fuck's sake. No. No. Go here. Let's go here, and well, we should have. Well, for first things first, we have sound. Very pleasing sound. Give me a second while I'm drinking my little drink. I think I will actually have for this whole week to start a bit earlier than usual. Because basically, I have to get up so early that I have to go to bed at like 9. That's depressing. Oh well. Tasty. Now you go away. You come here. Wait a second while I plug in the nice little one. Then, yeah, controller works. Well, now it works, which is good. Okay. Let's go in, and I will give you a bit of an explanation. Nice soundtrack. Now then, explanation of where the fuck we were. It's been a while, so you shall be forgiven if you can't remember off the top of your head where we stopped. Even I had to go through my notes, because I do have a little note. Well, it's a very general note. Now, what we did so far, well, we arrived in the region of Zeiss, and we did quite a bit of exploring, and then we started doing a lot of, well, secondary requests for this nice little lady here, forcing us to, well, do a lot of riddling, as in, you know, all of these nice little temp librarian nonsense. Took a lot of time, and well, we have, technically speaking, went through all of the surrounding areas, have explored everything, plundered every chest, talked to it twice just to make sure that we got all the things, and now we're on our way to the factory chief to get our introduction basically done. Because he's basically now the responsible party, like the mayor for other regions. It's in this fact going to be the factory manager, I guess. I'm reasonably sure that's his title. As you can see, factory chief, okay. It's been a while, so, you know, let us not talk so much. Now, I do know that I did kind of say that I will read all of the other books here, because there are still some here, and you have my word that before we leave this region, we will take another look at them, but right now, we have already read Herz's little adventure. And stuff like this is just like, I find it very nice, because it's a very nice detail, but a lot of that is basically techno-mumbo, and honestly I'm getting rather tired of techno-mumbo in our own world. So, you know, I kinda want to skip that for now, come back to it later. I do have a little note sitting here that tells me that I'm supposed to come back here and do it, so I will do it. For a moment though, let us actually progress with the story, because I basically only have like I have 1 hour. Fuck's sake, I hate my life. Just a moment though. Hey, I've been waiting for you to stand on Joshua, right? Yep. It's nice to meet you, sir. We saw it was you at work like this. Let's see if I actually remember. Do try to tone them a bit so that you actually get a bit of a good idea of who's actually talking. I mean, you can kind of go by the dialogue, but you know. Don't worry yourselves about it. Bracer killed, and Cassius in particular, have done a great deal for me in the past. It would be rude of me not to welcome his children. You know that. I guess you might say that. He was my benefactor. It's no exaggeration to say that the central factory produces the finest augments in the land. Naturally, the confrontations over our craft have never really stopped. Whenever we had a problem, we'd always contact the Rona branch and have him come over. I see. That explains all the business trips then. No, my benefactor's kids come to visit me themselves. What can I do for you? I'm happy to help. Thanks, sir. It's kind of a long story. It is indeed. Joshua Nazelle explained to Murdoch about the events surrounding the mysterious black augment. I see. Well then, do you mind if I had a look at this augment? Sure, no problem. She produced the black augment and handed it to the factory chief. Now this certainly is an oddity. Obviously made from modern materials, but the cleaver isn't inscribed anywhere. Anywhere? You mean the numbers that are carved into the augment's frame? Exactly. It's almost unheard of for an augment to be produced without them. And it's not just in Nebel either. Most other nations on the continent are the same way. It's been a tradition dating back to when the augments were first invented, 50 years ago. You don't say. They took out a combat augment and eyeballed it suspiciously. You're right. There are numbers right here. Crazy. It's a sort of thing. It's kind of like with stuff that gets serial numbers printed on it. Most people are surprisingly unaware of what all has serial numbers on it until you actually, point them in the right direction. You mean to say that you've never noticed in all this time? Oh, you hush. But seriously, it is really that strange for one to have no caliber on it. It's pretty much a part of the production process, and that goes for any orbital factory. If this one were a prototype or something. If so, I'd imagine it wasn't made to entertain at birthday parties, if you take my meaning. So next with the sweet and awesome, of the stabby hurty. Got it? No, I've always wondered why I have a tendency to fall into stuff like, Murdercade and stabby stab. I can see where I got that from, now that I'm reading your text again. Stabby hurty. Got it. I'm sure that's not the only thing to blame, but probably enhanced an already bit of a nasty habit there. Of course, I can't say for certain that without looking inside. What is it? Get right the maintenance cover. Now that I really look at it, it has no seams to it at all. How the hell was this thing made? I don't see any way to check out the inside of it. Oh man, would it be possible to cut it open? It might work, yes. I'd hate to just break something belonging to Cassius like that. Okay. Maybe we should let that professor handle it. Alright, one mentioned in the note. Yeah, he should be able to tell us something. Even the factory chief was like, what? Who are you talking about? I'm professor, I'm a big guy. Don't you see my lab coat? There was a note that was included with the augment. They showed Murdoch the note that was in the package for Cassius. Please ask Professor R to do an analysis. You wouldn't happen to know who this Professor R is, would you? Well, let me think. From the letter R, the people that Cassius knew, must be Professor Russell. I thought so. Who's Professor Russell? Wait a second, how do you know this guy? I don't, but I know of him. He's known as the person who brought all technology to Libel in the first place. You know your stuff. Kinda seems like the sort of person's like, do you know of, I don't know, Stalin? Yeah, I've heard of him. Pretty big name, Or like, to take something like, Einstein. Okay, heard of him. Who else? I know that Bell guy who kinda invented the fucking thingy that makes communication so much easier. Yeah, heard of him. That sort of basic knowledge, probably. As I'm sure you know, augments were invented by Professor Epstein. Interesting name. Yeah, Professor Russell was one of his disciples. 40 years ago, he brought the Augments and his knowledge back. That's why Lima is a technologically advanced nation. Now my tongue has decided to screw over myself with the word technology. Yes, technology, indeed. Okay. Good that we can agree on that, tongue. I'm happy for you to cooperate so much and willingly. You might say that he was the father of the Orbital Revolution. Oh, well, that is impressive. And I had no idea that Dad knew anyone like that. So, it worries me a little that you'll be letting the old prof handle this augment. We have no idea what it is, really. Yeah. Well, how to put this for good or ill, he's a certified genius. So he's also painfully mad, isn't he? When he gets an idea for a new invention in his head, there's just no telling what he'll do. Much like the time when he was developing the first orbital airship. What's this far off look? He's remembering like, yes, I remember the day when a certain crazy professor came into my office and was like, I need around about 10 million mira, I need lots of space, I'm going to build an airship. Answering the question, what is an airship? Well, it's a flying sarcophagus full of people and goods. I guess that's a lot happened. Sorry. I'm sure that he'll be able to figure this thing out. Poor Factory Chief Murdoch, he has the numb flashback basically. You can hear basically hear Wagner in the background. And the computer starts playing. He's sitting there like, quite literally, because that's actually about airships. Go find him and ask him about it. Can't hurt. Thanks, Chief. Where should we go to find him? Hold on a minute. Well, flip the switch on the intercom. Testing. Good. Since when do you do testing on a fucking intercom? Isn't it just like you press the internal line 1 and then you're like, hello, can you send me a coffee please? Thanks. Boop. Actually, I've been looking for you. Sorry to bother you, but can you come here? Alright, I'll be waiting. What did you just call yourself? Something? Oh, no. He actually has a private workshop in town. He has all the latest technology as his disposal. So now he can figure out, oh for fuck's sake, something about that thing. I have a double whammy of, we had that nice little clock change rule where we put the hour, in this case actually back by 1, which means we gain basically an hour on one day, and it takes me a while to get used to it. That was the case that I actually already have to go back to sleep at another time is painful. Also, the rest of us is probably going to be surprised because, that guy is early, isn't he? Yeah, he is. An hour earlier than usual, plus another hour means I'm technically speaking 2 hours earlier in this time. Let's not think about that too deeply. No, really must be a genius. Wait, then who did you call? His granddaughter. She works here at the factory. The child will be happy to show you the way. Your child. Excuse me. Little teacher. What? You? Oh, Mr. Joshua. Indeed, little teacher. We did you know, Joshua? Yeah, we just met a little while ago, though. So then I guess that she's the professor's granddaughter. Exactly. Tita, if we talk with Phil and Joshua here, I would like for you to show them the way to your house. To see Grandpa. Okay, I will. I appreciate it. Yes, if you learned anything new, I'd love it if you came back and told me. As an engineer, I'm extremely curious to know more about this. Sure. If you'll excuse us then. I didn't think you'd be coming. Aren't you even the granddaughter of the famous professor? No wonder you are so comfortable with augments. Oh, come on. I'm still just studying under my grandpa. By the way, you will raise a safe business with my grandpa. Well, sort of. The situation is kind of complicated. Yeah, we can explain everything once we see your grandfather. Okay. My house is in the southwest corner of town. Get off the escalator and go straight until you reach the south entrance. Then turn to the west, and there it is. Now I've already been there. Got it? Well, let's get moving. We shall, and now, of course, everybody and their bloody fucking whole family have more talkie talks. And since I haven't really wandered my way through good old Zeiss for a while, I will actually now take the liberty of doing a bit of rediscovering. Let me actually take a quick look, because actually I have my nice little list here. It's probably going to tell me that... I see. That's nice of me. Actually made a nice little note here. It goes like, don't bother going to the village, it's closed. Hello, Dido. Sorry to have called you in, so that detected. No worries at all, sir. Oh, any progress? Most useful calculator. It'll take a little longer. Not then I was expecting it to be repaired overnight. Yes, sir. Okay, this really screws with my... I'm even more tired. You know, it's actually fucking earlier. Sick. Yeah, give me a second while I drink some Coca-Cola. Yeah. I'll put the empty one aside and put the full one closer. Cherry. Right. Not bad at all. Wish there could be more help. That's fine, don't worry. Didn't have any plans to use it anyway. I call you if I need you. Goodbye. I may as well check out the storage area just one more time. But yes. Surprisingly enough, yes. It just really bugs me. I fix one thing and another thing pops up because of it. I'm never going to finish. Yeah, but how do you think fucking programmers keep their jobs? Basically thanks to the fact that nothing will ever be completely fixed, isn't it? It's a bit about, you know, the conundrum of building a perfect machine. To build a perfect machine that never breaks, I'm out of a fucking job because I can't sell it precisely once and then I'll be done with it. Not the best business model. On the other hand, if it's breaking or if it constantly needs some fixing because things can go wrong, I'll probably be making money out of that a long time. Hey, hello, Tito. Oh, shit, grandfather, is he doing well? Yes, man, he's still as healthy as ever. It's good to hear. At a strange work schedule he keeps is sure to catch up with him eventually. Please tell him not to miss his next checkup. Yes, ma'am, I will. Peter, I definitely picked up your reasonable nature from your grandfather. He's always coming up with the most outlandish excuses to miss his checkups. Rather like dealing with a small child. Sounds like Grandpa, right? But I hope he doesn't also pick up his tendency to forget his regular checkups. I'm sure she can get through life without a few checkups. For a while. Do you join my team? Yes, you do join my team. Let's actually pull you one closer. Yep, we definitely need to be more careful with how we sew the insole. Try to test it myself, but I need to do more monitoring. I'm assuming you're talking about the pair of shoes in front of you. Well. It isn't cute little teacher. You're just in time. Time for what? I've just sort of a very interesting agricultural specimen in the greenhouse. I'd very much like for you to try it and give me your opinion. What do you say? Is this specimen you're talking about a tomato? That's right. How did you... I just talked to Terry. He told me something about you trying to feed them some kind of bitter tomato. Did he now? Oops, look at the time. Well, I have to finish this tour. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Yeah, Terry. I should keep his big mouth shut sometimes. You see, your cute little face get all scrunched up when you tried the tomato. No, they don't let this one out much, do they? And it's just like, wow. It's not a very... I mean, to be fair, as far as jokes go, that is pretty fucking harmless. It's like, wow, it's a bitter tomato. You bite into it and you go like, yeah. It's like biting into a lemon, like, yeah. Sure. Could be worse. A lot worse. Have we... What? Now that you mention it, we did meet previously. We ran a run. Oh, right, we actually did. As also, you two were a real help that time. I appreciate you finding the orbital gun prototype for me. Oh yeah, you're that science guy. I remember you told me about that. Yeah, you lost one of the samples on the road to Rune. Yeah, that was a bit of trouble, wasn't it? Guys really saved my butt. What did all your research and stuff end up doing anyway? I think it's safe to say the orbital gun's research is moving along nicely. It'll take time to properly micronize the components, but we can do. If things go smoothly, we can have them on the shelves soon. Hope they're the big sellers. Mean, maybe, potentially. An orbital gun, I'm gonna buy precisely one for Olivier, and that's gonna be it. Can't find the blasted paperwork anywhere. Might be faster to just pull out all the blueprints and start over from scratch. Well, that's something. Cat go meow. And according to cat language, I think that means hello. Hey, Dieter. How did it go changing those lights in the Caldia tunnel? Well, that went okay. Went okay. Let's change the light though, didn't you? Yes, I changed them all. Okay then, good work. Lucky you had a couple of bracers with you on that last assignment, eh? When I was younger, I got into all kinds of scraps. Yes, I can imagine. I'll be careful. Little teacher. Cute little one, isn't she? I need a researcher who can help work on the Arsail's new experimental engines. It's the end of the ship's design, so we can't have just anyone working right there. Easy to find such a person, but we can't leave the Arsail's engine as is. I think we might need a fresh point of view on it. It was designed to be the prototype for a new model of engine. The engine it's running now isn't even close to showing her projected performance. I think we might need a fresh point of view on it. What do you think, Antoine? Cat is like, meow. Cat has spoken. Now build it. Build what? You know what I want from you. Well, it isn't teacher and those two bracers from before. Thank you so much for collecting those books for me. Thanks to you, my to-do box is nice and empty. Fucking assholeish. Basically, we have done all the work and she has basically no off time for the rest of the day. Nasty one. Anything the matter? In private facilities on the southwest corner of town. Then anything, please let me know. To admit part of this is intensely fascinating. Yeah, pretty much everybody researcher under the sun is probably not going to look at a mystery in its own field of expertise and going like, I don't give a shit. Nope. 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 Welcome to maintenance. To tell you the truth, I'm really a factory researcher. Well, a junior researcher. I'm studying orbital service and maintenance right now. And I'd love to have my own research laboratory. Peter, do you have all the slots open? No, you have not all the slots open. And I can't afford your last slot. That's honestly kinda saddening, but alas. Oh yeah, evade 2. Evade 3, I mean. That really eats your zippeed like it's fucking nothing. And EP3, that too eats resources like a fucking bitch. Kinda remember that this is the last ones. Hello, Dieter. Where are you off to today? I'm going to show these two where I live. Hey, I have something to discuss with Grandpa, it would seem. Oh, see. Bye, Hazel. Bye-bye, Hazel. Now, let us go to B1. Honestly, as far as I'm aware, there's no reason to go outside. But, wouldn't be me now. Or doing that now. This too is a pretty damn nice little musical piece. I do love it. I mean, you can say what you want, but the soundtrack... I don't know when I became so obsessed with good music, but well, it happened, let me tell ya. I'm pathetic. What did I see in that guy? He's not good looking, with that half-asleep expression on his face all the time. Didn't have any real redeeming qualities. If that would be enough of a reason to not fall in love, a lot of people wouldn't fall in love now, would it? I had a rumor that Faye just broke up with her boyfriend. Lost my chance. I'll vow her with my mad work skills. Actually don't know what kind of guy Faye likes. I don't know if her ex was someone in the factory. I don't know. But I can tell you, however, is that fucking factory belt reminded me of Factorio ever so much. warm, fuzzy feelings of spending a whole fucking night talking to Checkpoint, building shit, and going then critically annihilated for my design. Going like, yeah, I finally built a train. And he's like, well, you don't need a fucking train now, do you? Well, good point. I didn't, but I wanted one. It was fun, okay? Looked like you've been working hard. Oh, what a nice cold drink. That's the guy sitting right outside the central factory. Smart person, though. I mean, I am pretty sure we already have all of those. How do I open my... That's how I open. And the popcorn. Plug dropped. Was something he had in his inventory. Calm my eye. Yeah. Pretty sure we have all the stuff you have. It's not like we're out of money. You could buy, but welcome. I have all kinds of beautiful flowers. Please have a look. Yeah, Lana, Cecilia, is currently in port. We just arrived from the west. All passengers en route to the Grand Cell region. Please proceed to the gates. Docking is a go. Time for final liftoff check. The Cecilia. The one we discovered. Oh, so much kidnapped in the past. If memory serves. Should have been the Cecilia. Hello, Tita. Showing some guests around. Hello, Elise. Looking for some new flowers. Yes, that's right. Every time I go shopping, Vin starts to complain about every little thing. He's as particular as certain other people I could name. I'm not obsessive, it's just that Mossa can be so obtuse. What did you just say? Don't call your mother obtuse, that's gonna get you. Please don't fight. Hello, Tito. Hello, Vince. Off to work at the factory. Well, do your best. You. Keep up the hard work with the factory, Tito. You don't sound like a fucking child, my friend. What do I see there? Age of Empires. Of all things. It's actually something I kinda wanna try out myself. It's incredible. In that case, that moves. Yeah, an escalator. Can somebody get me on this crazy thing? You can just step on it, it's not biting. Then again, you know, imagine trying to explain to some medieval person that fucking... just an elevator. Like, look, this is a metal box that moves up and down. So you don't have to walk the stairs. They're gonna be screaming magic very, very fast. Welcome to the Septian Church. Please approach and pray. Wombo, wombo, wombo. Enough praying. The church is quite simple, isn't it? So different from these surrounding buildings. I wonder if there's a revolving chair, some other hidden gimmick. Why would there be? This is the last stop on my liberal pilgrimage. Quite a strange feeling. It's always fun when things end. That young Cheetah I see. Hello, father. Here's your grandfather. He's as busy as he ever was. Your work has slowed down. We'll be eagerly waiting for you here at Sunday school. Is that right, Cheetah? I think it's important for you to spend time with other children. Yes, father. May I try? We need to talk. My mom was here, ready to listen. The church is not solely a house of prayers, you know. It is not supposed to be. Technically speaking, the priest should be a... bit of a confidant kind of person, basically. Then again, there's kinda, you know, reason it suffered a bit. The memories. Hey, Professor Russell built this orbital clock. Hopman's drive it, you know. As long as the orbital power don't stop, the clock will keep running. Many remember the old days anymore, when I was death clock down. Hopman's all started with the technology we invented for clocks, you know. Now Hopman's are being used to power clocks. Ain't science great. And moving in circles, that's quite the redundancy. Starts with clocks, moves back to clocks. Welcome. In the circle. Are you all bracers? Stay in arms and guards as the means to fill your needs. My shop is just across the street from the Bracer Guild, so drop by any time. And buy some weapons to do some mass murder with. Because, you know, it's not really fitting in this particular case, but you know how the saying goes, at least according to some, bitches love cannons. In this case, sorry to say, Tita, but I'll have to change my opinion of you. No, not really. Where's my button actually? That is not the right button. This? Yeah. This is the right button. Okay. We're gonna finish first with the city. I think that's actually not a bad idea. Proper item display is essential. Balance is still a lot off. Oh, Tita, it's you. We're at the central factory again today. Yep. You're helping out here. Yeah, I'm in charge of merchandise display. My dad doesn't have a lick of sense about it. Oh, so you're the one who keeps everything lined up so nice and straight. Yep, yeah, it's all me. Okay, next is the fruit. You at school on Sunday. Okay, see you then. You don't forget to finish your homework this time. Relax yourself. Let's move all those cans to the left a little bit. Me is actually right. Proper display of your wares is very important when you want to sell them. I can tell you. Just ask me. I know. I have to deal with that theory quite a bit. Sure, as in Professor Russell's private laboratory in the southwest corner of town. Kitty cat, are you psychic? How did you know we were on our way to the professor's? Come now. You're the professor's granddaughter, aren't you? Oh yeah. Yes, this saves me the time of reporting in, right? The professor's a very busy man. Don't keep him waiting. Wait, teacher. Keep your eye on those two for me, okay? Yes, ma'am, I will. Well, teacher will keep a close eye on us. We shall feel that much in the way of protection. Hey, break time's finished. Back to work I go. It's nice if you're actually close enough to home that you can get home when you break. Peter, come on in. Everyone just got back from a little family trip. Muriel wore herself out. We're back to school. I wonder if you could help Muriel with her studies. Thank you in advance, teacher. Like, I'm not even gonna give you a choice. Goodness, I hate this. Hey, Muriel. How was your trip? No, it was the best. I had such a great time. But then I came back here, and I went directly down the toilet. It was waiting for me. Boring days, the mountains of Sunday school homework. Joey, do you hear that? I mean, what were you expecting? What would be waiting for you back home? Yeah, now everything goes back to being dull again. Should ask my grandpa to take me on a trip someplace. We should be fair, that's just life, you know. It's... You always gotta come back to that. I'm sorry to say. And I need to be absolutely certain that it won't before I take it even one cell short of here. Certain it won't before. There's some word missing here, isn't there? I actually found a fucking typo. I don't believe it. I need to be absolutely certain it won't. I take it even out. Break down in the middle of the... I think you're missing a word there. So yeah, I get paranoid about this thing. Never satisfied that it'll get me where I'm going. Where did it break down? Hey, Tito, thanks again for helping clean up. Tell your grandfather to place his orders early when he starts running low. Mistress owner is Stein, the guy who lives just next door to you. He's really pushing for us to not carry any of the new cutting-edge weaponry. Takes the joy out of the job, I tell ya. Says that the new stuff isn't reliable enough for him to stock in good faith. And he's turning down the newest prototypes from the best factory inventors. Some of these things can perforate a Rhino-Siler. What a waste. I can appreciate the owner's philosophy about dependability as much as anybody. But he's too hard-headed about it sometimes. No, he's actually making a fucking good point there. What use do I have for a fucking weapon that's like, yes, it can potentially perforate a fucking Rhino-Siler, but it only does it in like, with a 1 in 5 chance. Oh, Tito. Hey, these guys are... That's fine, they're bracers. I'm showing them to my house. Yeah, I thought so. I'm Wong, Zeiss branch. I'm new here myself, so we're kind of in the same boat. Is that right? Well, it's great to meet you. I'm Junior Bracer Stell. This is... Joshua. Pleasure to meet you. I heard from Kilika earlier about some pretty amazing juniors coming to Zeiss. Your reputation precedes you. Oh, you're making me blush. Afraid we're not quite as good as you might have feared. We were just lucky. We had the help of some amazing senior bracers and some very generous civilians. Got my surprise-worthy quality too, you know. At any rate, we're understaffed. We need you. Welcome aboard. Thank you. Always a pretty nice guy. Indeed, thank you. Still, Yosha, we are counting on you guys, even if it's just a temporary assignment. Nice. It does feel good to be back. Also, what do I see there? Do you see it in the left upper corner? There's some other map, isn't there? So basically, this layer is probably quite a bit bigger than what you can see. Interesting, isn't it? Such a nice little detail, actually. I mean, not really. That's, you're not supposed to see the behind the curtain, basically. But, well, sometimes you do. What do I do? Father told me to go buy bread. All the bread looks the same. Which one do I choose? First time shopping for food. Jesus Christ, first time shopping for food. It's rare. Doesn't look that young. But if everyone thought of my place as the little neighborhood store. Had to keep a little something for everyone on the shelves. Had to balance the logistics, but nothing worthwhile ever came easy, right? Oh boy, tell me about it. I love it if everybody thought of my place as the neighborhood store. Yes, yes, you said so. Already. Now then, I kind of think that the thingy, the other village is closed off, but I think we still go and take a look there. Cheetah! Cheetah, let's play. Oh, Baldi engineers again. This time I get to hobnob in the Ding Bezel Obliterator, okay? Sorry, I have to show my friends around first. Maybe next time, okay? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Professor Teacher. Professor, the orbital percussion is dropping. We need more power stat. That's it, but the orbital engine readings are green. Green, I tell you. Without context, he sounds like a bit of a crazy person, doesn't he? Raspid never orders the proper amounts of anything. Keep telling him to take more care of the merchandise that sells better. He doesn't know anything about being a salesman. Don't keep a best-selling product in stock, we won't make any profits. Ah, sure, so stiff, it's starting to give me a headache. I mean, yes, basic, the most basic of basic theories of economics tells you that if you have something that sells good, keep it in stock. Because you want the people to come back and, you know, buy. Not really that hard to understand. Then again, you can't just ignore potential new merchandise. You need to watch yourself around the owner, Ben. He loves to come up with all kinds of justifications worth plain cooking. Hey, what are you telling my new customers? What? I'm just telling it like it is. Sure, when food is a bit simple, but it tastes good enough and it's cheap. One could say he's economical. Isn't that actually good? Well, isn't that a threat? How are you, DJ? Just Professor Russell. Same as ever, I trust. Yes, sir. He's doing well. He's been spending all of his time lately working on new experiments. I don't know if that's entirely healthy. I'll try to get him outside a little more. Okay, I'll try. She looks like, oh, that's not gonna work. Look at Tita's little eyes. It's like, I know that he's not gonna leave the house. But I'm gonna try because I'm a good child. And there, we have resignation. But once he gets into a new project, it's really hard to get him to listen. That sounds like a grandfather, alright. People tied up on research have always been seen as having health issues. That's how provincial Zeiss food came about. Easy to cook, easy to eat, and nutritious. With Zeiss cooks all make our recipes around those three basic criteria. Basically, it needs to be easy to make and easy to eat. I'm assuming one-handed eating is quite common practice then. And not for, you know, any dirty reasons, just because people would probably like to continue doing their work. So, you know, stuff like sandwiches is probably a lot around. Now the soup looks a little bit strange, but when I actually tried it, it was delicious. I saw it all in the pot and warmed up. I'm impressed. I'm not just some lazy slug after all. The recipe is really simple. I tried it out at my girlfriend's house sometime. Man trying his hand is cooking, eh? That can end in many great ways, to put it mildly. Okay, sheets are done. Let's stock the room amenities. Stock them, I say. Lots of stuff still to do. Time to unleash the fury. I think you are actually one of the few who hasn't any new dialogue. Welcome to LoH Hotel, one of the most storied hotels in the history of Liebel. It's been run by my family for over 6 generations now. Also, it's the first hotel with all the lights in all of our guest rooms. Okay, impressive. I'm assuming. Well, I guess the sheer age of the building, if you consider that one generation is probably at least, what, 60 years or so? Okay, let's be more moderate and start with 40. That's over 200 years, isn't it? Holy shit. Quite a bit of story that hotel has seen. Hi, Tito. Uriel, finished with school? Don't be silly, Tita. Sunday school isn't today. No, it wasn't. Tita, dear, you need to rest. Come to school sometime too. No one wants to see you again. Okay, I've just been really busy lately. I come back as soon as I can. Yeah, it's a promise, right? I mean, look at this place. It's like she doesn't even know how to clean up. She's so lazy. Yeah. Comes with the business, doesn't it? Hold on. Tita, what are you doing here? Reese, aren't you supposed to be working in the design room? Yeah, but first they wanted me to finish calibrating the orbital guns. You're showing these two braces the ropes or something then? Yes, I am. We are on the way back to my house now. Speaking of your house, Tita, it sure has been quiet around there as of late. No gas leaks or explosions. Hey, explosions? Even if it still is like, yeah, it wouldn't go so fast to say explosions, Luis. Just a little flying glass. Just a little flying glass. How exciting. Whatever, I want to see the professor's newest dimensions as much as anyone. Don't stop your tests due to worries about collateral damage. Okay, thank you. Question mark. Good luck on the production of the new orbital guns. Many thanks. No studio grandson and all that. Let's see here. Septic optical annals, septic optical annals. Where did I put that book? And take employment at the central factory to make orbital guns. Not working for the man. Kinda is here. You're not really fucking free to just do whatever. You're supposed to develop stuff that actually, you know, has a bit of sale potential. Just need to cancel. How's the studio? Okay, so we can't actually leave then, I'm assuming. Which kind of puts me in the point where I can only go to... this way goes to the Plains Road. My house is to the southwest. I know, Tito. We actually were at your house already once. Hello, Professor. Yeah, a bit of more of the coke. Oh, my rhythm is really screwed over. Fuck's sake, that's really not a good feeling. Actually, that reminds me. This might be the more well-known part of the Legend of Heroes series. Actually, it's an older title, an even older title. What actually was it? Was it PlayStation era? Just give me 1 second while I click around. Where? Yes, it is. The Grancel, not Grancel. It's another series basically that is that has run back in the day, and bit different. Well, this is my house. Wow, next place. Professor Russell is here. No, I think he's in the workshop. Probably is. Through this door. We should go and say hi then. We should we? Ah, little teacher. Little teacher. I mean, he doesn't seem to be here. But he's here. That looks strange. The way he's just, you know, moving there like... I'm home, Grandpa. Okay, maybe this way. Yeah. So this is the professor. Yeah, nice to meet you. My name is Estelle Bright of the Bracer Guild. We actually came to get your expert opinion on... Got it! I did it! It's finally complete! That's right, who's the man? I'm the man! Yes, I should start testing it at once. Yeesh. He doesn't give a shit. He's busy. What the hell? I'm sorry still. But kind of goes into a trance when he's working, and he doesn't really notice what's going on around him. You don't say. I think he just finished up the device he's been working on for the past 2 days. Yeah, I see. It really is something. He's something alright. So fast. I mean, what can you say, you know? I do say there's a very fucking thin line between genius and madness, and, well... maybe the good professor kinda, you know, teeters a bit on the brink a bit too much. Grandpa, yeah, some people here will need to talk to you. Oh, Rita, I've come at just the right time. I need your help with compiling the data for these tests. But, Grandpa, this new invention will actually block a biosensor of man's detection facilities. It emits a unique orbital force field that deflects the energy that the biosensor sends out when it scans. No, really? You can see the slight spark in her eyes going like, oh, really? My soul is screaming for me to get involved. Yes, really. And then do I overstate my own accomplishments? No, come on, we've got testing to do. Right. Little Tita is getting all excited. First, Tita began working with some complex looking equipment. Hey, no. Never mind, Estelle. I think we should just let them be for a while. Hey, you with the black hair. Who? Me? Well, on the upstairs bookcase is a notebook titled Orbital Energy as applied to force fields. Go get it! Come on, be quick about it. Alright. Wait, Joshua! Don't leave me alone. Hey, young lady, you're with the antenna hair. Yeah, antenna? I mean, she kinda has a bit of an antenna going on there. A very distinct antenna when you think about it. Quite literally. Centrally focused. Interesting. Never really seen much and thought much about it, but okay. Oh, no, you didn't. Quit farting around, make some coffee. Wait, should I have to make coffee? I take it back. By the way, I want to clear as much. That's not very clear. Also, that's gonna kill your stomach in the long run. You're not hearing a word I say. Fine, whatever. Says like I'm gonna give up now. Yep, perfect. All set, Grandpa. Just as fast as ever. Oh. And where's that, Joshua? Who? Come to think of it, I do wish we call a couple of young folks. Might have set along some fresh faces then, I presume. And so instead, Joshua inadvertently wound up as assistants in the experiment. After many small, but relatively harmless explosions and some singeing of the eyebrows, the day gave way to evening. Very much safe. Sorry about all that. I just assumed you were both new employees at the central factory, so it's only natural that you wound up being drafted as assistants. Yes, there's no laughing matter. Especially since the only thing you had to be helping with was making coffee. Let's compare metal parts together too, old man. Relax yourself, you got some valuable experience out of the deal in the end. Often does one get to participate in startup tests on a brand new job apartment after all. Well now, you're a bright lad, aren't ya? Want to give up this bracer nonsense and start up in the field of orbital engineering? Right. Really sorry guys. I guess you got caught in a moment too. I mean, you know. You are family, it's kinda probably running in the blocky blood at this point. Don't need to apologize, sweetie. But about the father of the orbital revolution, it's going to be some really amazing man. That's some old fart with attention deficit issues. Please, you're too kind. Moving on, so I'm being paid a visit by the children of Cassius. It's quite a surprise. I really do know that. Yep, from way back when. Known him since his army days, some 20 years or so. That's a long time ago, Jesus Christ. I've met him too. He had the really nice mustache, right? You know, I don't know if I'd call it nice, or just suspicious looking. And if he's known dead for that long, it looks like we'll be safe and trusting. You know what, with Professor Russell after all. Yes, I have to agree. What are you talking about? And what was it you wanted my help with? Well, I explained to the professor the whole sequence of events surrounding the Black Orbment. Click. I see. The Pitch Black Orbit. It's most intriguing, with no inscribed caliber or seams. Look at the frame too. Professor Russell produced a cutting tool from his belt. Without a word, he pushed the blade's edge against the outer shell of the ornament. Hey, what are you doing? It's a special alloy steel cutter. Just as I thought. Here, take a look. Okay. Your teeth appeared intently at the black ornament. Huh? Yes, not even a scratch. The frame is made from some type of metal that I've never before encountered. Opening it up for a closer look is going to be quite the task, I think. It's just crazy. And if we can't find some way to open it, we'll be right back to square one. Well, I can certainly spend some time trying. But first, I think that maybe we should put it under a measurement scale. What now? That huge piece of equipment you saw when we were working on the experiment. It can gauge all energy activity in real time. That's good. Making my head hurt with your technobubble. Just tell me what using that thing will accomplish. Put it in layman's terms, it will allow us to see what this ornament does. We won't be able to draw any definitive conclusions, just from measuring what kind of orbital activity is occurring, but it's a start. That should give us a major clue. Indeed. So, without further ado. Grandpa, shouldn't we have lunch first? Sure. Stand you're sure. You're both welcome to join us. I can't promise it'll be anything special, but sounds great to me. There's still us up for some lunch, that's not surprising. We'll even help with prep. Alright, come on then. I've gotta be there too while lunch is prepared. No, I wanna see too. No fair work when I'm not around. My house, my rules. Fair point. Like, I pay the bills. My rules. What's up with those two? I see where she gets it. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Why is everybody so bright? What happened, Joshua? Then have you ascended to heaven? Something. Really is bright, that thing. If everyone is ready, let's get this started. Then, so you put the ornament on the stage. Okay. Plop. Like this? Yes, thank you. Are you ready, Teeter? Ready to rumble? I mean, she has a cannon. There's gotta be some rumble. All set. Good, good. Now, commencing all force measurement test on the Black Ornament. Black Ornament. That's going to be the official name after all. But using it officially is so boring and simple. Why not something cool like Dark Thingy of Impending Doom? No. Simple is best. If you're longer than Black Ornament would just be annoying to say. I mean, you can shorten it to BO. Yes, just do it like the military and shorten everything. And especially quite... There are languages where I will admit it is absolutely necessary to do it, because otherwise you would never get anything done. Because, you know, if one of your vehicles is quite literally called die Sonderkraftfahrzeug 572, then shortening it to SDK is a good way. It's a good start. Fuck's sake, German. Why do you have to be such a pain in the ass? I mean, you know, one of the greatest problems with the German language is actually counting. Because, you know how you write, let's say 52. It's 5-2, right? Now in German, we write it that way, but we don't say it that way. What we are saying is 2-5. Or rather 250 in this case particular. 52. It's 2 and 50. And so when you learn the language, and you're coming from, for example, English, you're gonna get fucked by that alone. Quite a bit. I don't even know why we're doing it. It's fucking idiotic, but it is a pain. I remember when I was a child, and I was in like, what was it? Basically very, very early elementary school. And we started learning numbers, and we started going in the bigger numbers, like, you know, a bit over 10, going all the way up to 100. And we kind of had to start doing simple math things, and I got confused as fuck by that. Ah, such an annoying. It's like, it's written 5-2, but I'm saying 2 and 50. Why, language doing this to me? But yeah, teacher's like, I'm excited. Oh, look at her. She's all anxious to start. She's excited for the science. Alright, let's begin. Teacher, if you'll activate the scanner, please. Okay. Output set at 45. For all measuring equipment on standby. Roger. Done. All measuring equipment is calibrated. Okay. From here on out, it's the real deal. With no direct input or output was detected, all we can do is measure how the central crystal circuit responds. Now let's see just how much this contraption is really worth. Sure, in a good mood. And click! Neat, it's all glowing and stuff. I get it, it's putting a major strain on the crystal circuit. Yeah, there. Peter, any readings? Yes, they're kind of weird. The tachometer needle's shaking like crazy. Yeah. No, it's spinning around the dial. What? And now it's like, fuck you, bitch. I'm not gonna let you scam me. What's going on here? Sure. It's that same black light from before. Ploing. What? Oh shit. Oh shit. It killed all the fucking orb lights. And yeah. That's gonna be pricey. It's not just, you know, killing your own the apartment or housing units electricity. No, this is actually killing the whole fucking cities. Right, Pa, it won't take much more of this. You have to shut it down. Don't you dare. Just a little longer and we'll have something. Wait a second. All the lights in town are going out. What then? Ah, we have no choice then. Terminating the experiment. I think he really, really hates that. He probably would have just continued. Yeah, I'm back on. Ew. Let's see the readout. Nothing. It didn't record anything. The only thing that kept working was the scanner on which the black orb had set. But even that, well. For everything else? Good. Looks like the experiment's finished. How's it outside? Fine. All the lights are back, like nothing happened. Still a lot of people panicking though. Okay. But what in the hell was all that? That. What I would dub the Orbital Shutdown Phenomenon. OSP for short. Because fuck you, I can shorten this even more. OSP. I do know some people who shorten like this. Oh boy, I do know some people. What down? You mean how everything inside all the orbments just stopped working at once? So the black orbment did this. Yes, I've no doubt. I would never have dared to guess that its effect would be so extensive. There's definitely more to this than I expected. Interesting. Most interesting indeed. Only you would think causing a blackout of an entire city is interesting. Professor! Murdoch, just the man I wanted to see. The feeling is not mutual. Every single time you invent something, it means trouble for me. What the hell were you up to that would cause all of the power downtown to go out? How rude. It's not even my fault this time. It is there. That's the black orbment. And it caused this. That thingy. Okay, I get it. That's the root of this, then it's genuine, insinuating circumstances. For once. But it still means it is not your fault. Yeah, you got me. That's it. Yeah, just okay again. Are they always like this? This is so embarrassing. Like, yeah, and always. So the first day in Zeiss kept everyone busy. Due to how late it was, Stanley Usher stayed at the lab for the night. Nice, he let us stay. Ding, ding, ding. yesterday was such a crazy day. I was surprised enough at the town. I was not expecting to deal with anything like that. No kidding. Yeah, I don't think anybody was expecting that. Back on the subject of the Black Augment, it's much more powerful than I'd ever imagined possible. I mean, didn't it stop a fucking literal artifact that stopped time? Pretty damn powerful, I'd say. Yeah. What's the prof gonna do now that his equipment's gone all kaploopy? Good morning, guys. Hello, teacher. Teacher. Boop, boop, boop. Good morning, teacher. Good morning. Quite a big day yesterday. No kidding. Did you guys sleep okay? Yeah. Right, babies. Is the professor already up? Oh, he left for the central factory only this morning. He said something about how he was going to expose all the Black Ops secrets. Wow, looks like getting rotted over and over, but the factory chiefs yesterday didn't even put a dent in him. I mean, you know, he's a scientist. You kind of need to be somewhat obsessed with your subject, otherwise you'd probably stop doing all of the science stuff. Well, technically speaking, he's more of an engineer, isn't he? Really appreciate both of you taking the time just to go over something a couple of relative strangers brought you. No, it's fine, really. We went past investigating it out of pure curiosity, more than anything. I should go to the factory myself once I'm done with breakfast. What do you plan to do? Naturally, we'll be coming with you. I want to know what's really going on with that open too. Maybe there's something we can do to help. Yay, you can come with me. Yay, party, assemble. Hey, you almost forgot about the soup. Just a second, you two. I'll bring you breakfast as soon as I make sure it's edible and not on fire. Yes, that's what that smell is. Man, what a cutie. I'll agree on that much. She is kinda cute. The small one. I wish we could take her back with us to Roland. Would be like a pet, cheering us up whenever we are feeling down. That's really kind of creepy, Estelle. Blast. Only a woman can get away with that. Imagine a man going like, oh yes, I want to keep her as a pet. You'd be in the prison faster than you could say, but... And now that we've had a good breakfast, off to the central factory. Before we do that, I'd like to check in at the guild. I think it might be best to report on what happened yesterday, just to be on the safe side. Oh, okay. Hey, Tita, would you mind if he stopped by there on the way? Sure, go ahead. Well, teacher. As much as I would like to continue, I think I'll actually have to wind it down here. It does feel good to be back, but well, I kind of have to explain this a bit, don't I? Well, for once, you might have realized that I was a hell of a lot earlier than usual. Well, that is in part because, well, we kind of had to, for the weekend, change back the clocks again, because, well, we once again entering the nice little winter area. And around here, we are still, you know, playing around with that fucking, yeah, what's it called? Daylight saving hours. You know, that nonsense where you either put your clocks forward 1 hour or put it back 1 hour, depending on the season. Yeah, that nonsense. That alone pushes me back by like an hour, because we kind of changed it from, I think, you change it from officially from 3 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the morning, which nobody does. So on usually on a weekend, on a Sunday to be precise, you kind of then change it, you know, around. So yeah, for the foreseeable future, I will actually be a bit earlier than usual, mostly because of this nonsense. And this week in particular is a bit of a nuisance, because I actually have to go to bed like at a bit after 9, because I have to get up really, really early. Kind of started with our preparations for the end of the year. And it will be a bit different this year because, well, let me put it like this. There are 2 major events at the end of the year that we are doing, which we can't do as long as people are, you know, in the store. One is the year-end cleaning, basically, you know, the big cleaning that you can only really do when there's nobody there. Mostly for reasons of when you pull, you know, stuff away, when you pull around the shelves and stuff, you will find that it a lot of dirt and stuff, and you kind of don't want to let your customers see that, you know, for obvious reasons. So there's that, and secondly is by law we are yes, we are actually forced to make a complete inventory. Basically everything that has value needs to be, well, either counted, weighted, or in some very rare cases estimated how much there is and what value it has. And that is true for everything that has a value. So every good, every bit of goods you have in your store, every money value you have, and all of that needs to be accounted for. Now, sounds nice that you can estimate things, but let me make that very clear. That sort of estimation thing only really is applicable when you're dealing with industrial-sized production. So, for example, if you, let's say you have a factory and you produce screws. Now, let's say that you have machines that produce like a few 100,000 screws in, you know, a few days. Nobody's really expecting you to count every last single one of them and go like, okay, I have like 112,000 and a few. No, you basically make an estimate and go like, okay, my machine can produce like, let's say 1,000 screws in half an hour. That times all of the production until this point for this month, until we last shipped out, means we have around about this many. So for any normal business, you can't do that, which means we actually have to, you know, do the old-fashioned counting. Now, considering the sheer amount of goods we have, that's a bit of a problem. Now, usually what we would do is at the end of the year, we would make a end of the year sale, which we can't do because, well, Corona restrictions are still active, and with the numbers rising, I don't think they're going to get lifted. Usually we would just make a little kind of bazaar, basically, where we put all of the extra goods we still have around outside and, you know, sell some drinks, make it a bit of a nice little neighborhood thing, and basically try to sell off as much of the stuff, the leftover stuff that we have, then start accounting after that, because, you know, having less to count is a very, very good thing. Also, the reason why we have so much left over is basically this. Since we want to sell stuff at a reasonable prices, we have to buy at least a certain amount of things, and that usually means that you will have some left over always. Which is not a problem. Basically, you buy more, so you get a good price. Then you sell it as a reasonable margin that you make normally, and then at the end, when still is enough is left, you sell it for cheaper. So you basically make no loss. You make most of your money in the first sale, of course, but you know, how our business works. And normally that is a very, very smart move, especially at the end of the year, because people really do love this sort of stuff, and then you can make it a bit Christmassy and stuff like that. But yeah, with Corona, that's not a fucking option. I get fucking all. Okay. So far, so good. The explanation kinda means that we have already started with some of the nonsense. But we can't really do the accounting per se, because technically speaking, we only have a margin like 10 days before the last day of the year and 10 days after to do it. It needs to be done there. But since they are aware that we are not actually having on display, that we are not going to sell, you know, in that time frame, we can kinda count those already and just, you know, write them already down and then put them on the list together with all the other stuff on the end of December. So there's that. Since we can only really do that nonsense while, you know, the store is closed, we can have to do that on the hours when, well, the very, very, very unlucky hours, like either we have to spend evenings doing that. We also have started, you know, doing the usual cleaning already, because honestly, none of us really wants to waste the end of year. In case of my body, my business partner, he has family, so he kinda, you know, wants to spend Christmas with his family, which is an understandable thing. Also, his wife gets kinda pissy when, you know, he's not there for the children. Overly much. We had some debates about that, so can't really do with it. So, well, after, you know, deciding that I would much rather have the evenings to do my shit, which is, you know, in part this year, because this is fun, we kinda have to do it in the mornings, which means we have to do it before we open the store, and that means I have to go to bed like, you know, like a child at 9 in the evening, or, well, it's half past, so basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish my little Coke, then I'm going to go to bed, like half past 9. I feel like a fucking child again. Even as a child, I wasn't going to bed this early usually, but well. Point is, not only do I have to get up very much early, I still have to do the whole day, and it kind of ends up, you know, in the evening. But all of this nonsense aside, I also have, well, since I just saw somebody in my friend list start playing it, Age of Empires, which reminds me, I kind of want to, I do have the HD remaster of the first and the second one, so they're sitting around, and I do kind of sometimes play the third one, just, you know, quick match here, quick match there, against the AI and with the AI and other such, mostly for fun. So I kind of do feel the itch to play that and see just how remastered the first one actually looks, because when I do remember the first one looking really, really primitive, but oh, I also want to know if the cheat still works. What was it? Oh, for fuck's sake. Big Daddy. Big Daddy is the cheat that you use in Age of Empires to get the rocket launcher car. I still remember that fun little thing. I know there are more cheats, but I don't remember them. I just know that I do love that one. Just, you know, fucking rocket bazooka guy. Basically a guy sitting in the car having a bazooka on his shoulder going like pew pew pew. And the way the game considers this basically like a stone's thrower. That means when you hit something with that, there's actually going to be an impact from a stone. Like, you know, from a catapult or so. So yeah, maybe we're gonna play this. It's gonna be short streams for probably the rest of the week, sadly enough. I do plan to get a bit extra time because I really want to do something longer again, like at least 5 hours or so. So the plan is this: we're gonna play a bit more Trails because I really missed this, and we're going to play some Age of Empires maybe this week, because though that is really easy to time. You can just play a bit and then you can stop. Maybe we're gonna actually go and start doing the tutorial, because I think that's actually the pretty damn good story mode there. Basically making Egypt great and strong, which is kind of fun, you know. Also, it will help me remember how to play game, because I actually think that the first Age of Empires are still a bit different than the later on ones. I don't think you can really compare Age of Empires 1 to Age of Empires 3, for example. I think those are two very different beasts, now that I think about it. Oh boy, they really are. But yeah, and then I'm aiming to probably finish Resident Evil on Saturday. And then once we finish it, I'm going to take a break and basically get my lunch, and then we're going to play probably some Breaking Out in the evening. That's how my plan goes. It's a nice plan so far. We shall see how it actually, you know, works in practicality. But yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very much happy for the people who actually still come along, even though my scheduling is kind of all over the place right now. I know that. I'm aware of that. I kind of want to change that back to a more stable. But then there's stuff like, you know, Joe's daylight saving hour nonsense that I really can't control. I have never been a fan of that, and I have on multiple occasions with quite a few others actually petitioned for that fucking nonsense to stop, but they still fucking do it. It has never worked. It has never actually done what it was intended to do. It just is a fucking nonsensical idea. They fucking continue doing it. Pisses me off to no end. Also means that at some point in the near future I'm going to, you know, lose an hour of sleep over that, which is always fun. It's really bringing your whole internal clock is basically getting screwed over, and it takes usually around a week or two to actually get adjusted again. Even worse for your pets, dogs and so on. You know, your dogs are kind of used to getting out and about at around the same hour every day, and suddenly it's like an hour difference. Yeah, try to explain it to a fucking animal. Oh, we're gonna do that. But yeah, it is actually, for my actual right now schedule, getting late. The fact that I look at the clock, it's like half. It's not fucking late, but it is for me right now. But yeah, I really would like to sit around and ramble a bit more about that and this and other such nonsense, but yeah, it's not really an option. It actually does have a bit of an antenna. on her little head. Just wanted to check that. But yeah, so for the moment, much as I hate to say it, I will have to bid you adieu. Have a good one at all that, and yes, well, as usual, thanks for dropping by. This always appreciated. I can't say that often enough, actually. It's the whole reason why I actually introduced that part into my little outro spiel. Mostly because, well, it is, and when, you know, want to say something nice to people, that is probably a good idea to actually just do it, instead of sitting there like a little bitch about it. But yes, I kind of told you what the planning is, and I know it's probably a bit of a stretch to ask that, but if you want to continue watching, do keep in mind that the daylight saving hours is kind of screwing our scheduling over anyway. And well, at least if things go well after this week is over, next week we should at least be able to get back to a bit more of a normal scheduling. Work-wise, at least. Still doesn't change the fact that we have basically moved an hour back in time. But yeah, that is sadly something I can't change. No matter what, no matter how much I would like to do it. But yes, then without much further ado, let us end it here before I regret tomorrow. The future me is going to hate me for what I'm doing. Let's not get that far. I would very much like to get on the good side of that guy. He's kind of responsible for keeping going, you know. It's actually kind of interesting. In the future, you has to keep on going, because if he doesn't, then all the work you have done is kind of getting waste. So, rating situation that your future you will probably find pleasing is a good way to, you know, ensure that things go on. After all, can't trust that guy, you know. I can assume he's not going to be very much pleased with me. Bit of an insight. Fun with yourself. But yeah, once again, let me say bye-bye for the moment, and yeah, we're gonna see a bit more trails once again, because, well, now that my vocal cords have decided to come back and work again, and I somewhat remember, very little, how to actually play this game and play around with the voice a bit. I will need to get into the swing of that again, but that will take a bit more time. At least we can finally play this a bit more.